Module 3 deals with the design thinking process. Design thinking process is used a lot when designing products. So, for example, if a company were to be designing a new smartphone, say, design thinking process is what will inform how they go about designing this product. Now, the product can be anything. It can be a phone, it can be a car, it can even be an experience for people. The idea and how you go through the design process will be informed by design thinking. There are 5 stages to it. We begin with empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. And the uniqueness of the design thinking process is that it is not linear. And these arrows show you that you can go from stage to stage, jumping between them, depending on how the development in that particular stage proceeds. And it's this non-linear approach which makes it very dynamic. Design thinking is framed around a human-centered approach. And if you do Google searches on design thinking or you're reading more about this, you'll notice that human-centered design and design thinking are seen as two different concepts. I like this particular graphic because it clearly shows you the difference between them. So human-centered design is the way you're thinking about approaching a problem. You're putting the human at the center of the process. And when you go into developing a product itself, you're using this human-centered approach when you're designing the product. And the process of design is the design thinking process. So you have a mindset and a process. And the mindset that informs design thinking process is a human-centered mindset. So when we talk about human-centered approach and human-centered design, I saw this advertisement and it really made me think about approaching design from the user's perspective, right? So I want you to watch the video and look at all the little things that are design elements embedded in this video to make a person's life easy. And I want you to think about things that you had never thought before. Especially pay attention to this little a very quick moment in this video where they show you how the elevator buttons are pressed.
The first time I was able to control the device with my voice, it was that wow factor of, oh my God, I'm doing this on my own. My name is Josh, and I live with my fiance Katie and my 2 kids, Fable and Calder. I am a trial attorney, and I run a nonprofit. And this is the story of how Alexa helps me live more independently. Alexa, turn on platform up. I'm able to have Alexa control different devices. So with my wheelchair platform lift, Alexa, turn on elevator first floor. My elevator buttons. Alexa, turn on all office lights. I even have a camera for podcasting. Alexa, call Fable Echo. With Alexa and my family, we're always able to communicate.
Hi, Daddy.
What's going on?
I'm your necklace that has a D in it. Do you want to come to the dance party?
I'm always trying to find ways to break down barriers in the accessibility community and show the different ways I'm controlling my environment. And the more and more we share these type of stories, the more that we can know what's possible.
The human-centered design thinking process has been translated from industry into education. And in education, design thinking becomes a learner-centered process. I like this infographic because it gives you the 5 stages of the design process, and it gives you a few thinking points from an educational context itself. So it makes it easy for you to apply design thinking in teaching. So when we start with the empathy phase, you're looking at who are your students. You're defining the problem with the student in mind and their contexts. You come up with ideas to help them learn. And then you prototype it, get feedback from students, you're testing it out, and then you're going back again in this circle. Now, to show you that it is a dynamic nonlinear process, you've got the intersecting lines that connect each of these stages. But it's also circular in this versus the more straightforward process that we saw when you're talking of industry, right? Think of a course that you attend in your program. So the instructor designs the course, runs it, tests it, pilots it with you, or the course just happens. At the end of the course, you give your course evaluations. The instructor looks at the course evaluations and then goes back to maybe ideation, making changes, and then prototyping that, and then testing that. And this circle goes on, happens every time a course is offered. And so the circular representation is very appropriate for the teaching environment. In this module, we are focusing on design thinking and the 5 stages of design thinking. So the readings are about design thinking, but to supplement the readings, I've also added a series of videos that go through the stages of the design thinking process. Each video is about 4.5 to 5 minutes long, so in total you're looking at no more than a half an hour of watching these videos. I'm also including the infographic from the previous slide on the module page for you. And this variety of content is to provide a multimodal approach to the learning process itself, recognizing that we all engage with content better in different forms. So this is a short overview of the content of Module 3 itself and the focus of Module 3.